What is up, Steeler Nation? It's your boy Daniel J, back with you with another video. I'm coming back live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, from Mount Washington. Check out that view, y'all. If y'all like that, please hit that like and subscribe button if you love that view. That is beautiful. Also, don't forget, guys, we're giving away 2 tickets to the Steelers versus Vegas Raiders game that's happening this Christmas Eve. They'll be retiring Franco Harris's number at halftime. We'll be giving away those tickets on October 30th on the post-game show of the Steelers-Eagles post-game show. So all you gotta do is be a subscriber to get entered into that. Please do so. Hit that like button. Comment where you're coming from. It helps the algorithm and it lets me know where everybody's coming from. I'm originally from San Antonio, Texas, but was out here for the game this past Sunday against the Buccaneers. And with that being said, let's get into the content. So the Pittsburgh Steelers upset the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 20-18 with a bunch of unsung heroes, a bunch of guys who, let's face it, nobody expected to make any type of moves or, to do exactly what they did and show up. The Pittsburgh Steelers started moving the ball early in the game. Kenny Pickett and that first drive drove the Pittsburgh Steelers down the field. After a 3-and-out from the Buccaneers, of course. But Kenny Pickett drove the team down the field for their first touchdown on their opening drive for the first time in this year. And so, with that said, that drive alone looked amazing. It was well scripted. A lot of folks have been giving Matt Canada a lot of hell because of the fact that the offense hasn't been playing or hasn't been producing as well as they should. And in this game, you saw no drops. You saw players coming up and doing what they needed to do in key situations. And so, some of the unsung heroes, you talk about Sims. He had a return in the second half that almost took it to the distance. We're talking about Mitch Trubisky, who came in for the injured Kenny Pickett and really showed up. In my opinion, he showed why the Pittsburgh Steelers identified him in the offseason as a possible replacement for Ben Roethlisberger. He was accurate. He came in a little bit shaky at first, but once he shook off the rust, he found Claypool quite a bit. And Claypool was a guy who's been getting a lot of heck as well. And, as far as his toughness, as far as his ability to catch the ball and stay on his feet. And in this game, I think he did very well for himself. Catching catching passes that, converted key third down plays. It continued drives, things of that nature. And it was just, in my opinion, a well-played game by the Pittsburgh Steelers. One thing that I've been saying this entire year is we have not seen the Pittsburgh Steelers play a 60-minute game. And in my opinion, they got pretty close to doing that, and the defense, Alex Kozor brought this up where the defense was from Steelers Depot, that the defense was shifting quite a bit on the front line. While I was in stadium, I noticed that Cam Hayward, Larry Ogunjobi, and the interior defensive line were shifting before the snap of the ball to get the opposing team to false start. And it worked quite a few times. Alex Kozor does a great job from Steelers Depot, showing that on a video. But being there in stadium, seeing that, I think that, the plan was well executed. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers had they drew this up to a T, so to speak, and had it work to the best of their ability, given the situation that they had, given the injuries to Minkah Fitzpatrick, given the you had DeMarvin Leal put on IR. You had your first, second, and third string cornerback, Levi Wallace, Witherspoon, and Cam Sutton all sitting out. And you had James Pierre, who started the game, however, had to leave the game at a certain, towards the end of the game with a stinger injury. And so the defensive backs were depleted. The secondary was depleted. And what they were able to accomplish against Tom Brady, against the future Hall of Famer, my hat goes off to you guys. Also, another unsung hero, in my opinion, is Devin Bush. He stood up. He popped out. He made plays when they needed. He was the guy that stopped or had the pass breakup on the 2-point conversion to Godwin. And so, these guys all stepped up. They needed to be where they needed to be. Even Spillane, he had a pass breakup early in the game that could have ended up in a touchdown. And, if that doesn't happen, Pittsburgh Steelers lose this game. And so, it took a team effort all the ways around, from offense to defense to special teams, and a 60-minute game in where the Pittsburgh Steelers took care of business. Now, travel to Miami. But before we get into that, we have a full week to talk about this past game and the injuries and what's to come. There's been a couple of there's been a tweet out there where Boswell looks like he's calling out Matt Canada. There's been rumors speculating that Deontay Johnson got into a argument with Mitch Trubisky at the halftime of the Jets game, which led to Mitch Trubisky's benching. Well, we'll discuss all that once I get back home, back in studio, and can do a little bit more proper research on it. I don't want to put anything out there that may not be true. And so those are things that are easy to find. Y'all are more welcome to do so. But I'll have my opinion on those things once I get back into town. Don't forget, guys, on Wednesday night, we'll be doing the unofficial Steelers podcast. Myself, Mark Davison from Steelers Nation Australia, Nathan Hines from In Hindsight. It'll be on my channel Wednesday night. We'll be posting up once we get an exact time. It'll probably be around 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Eastern time. So keep on the lookout for that. But for right now, the Pittsburgh Steelers are 2-4. They're a game behind first place in the AFC North, and the season's not over, guys. There's still a lot of games left to play, and with the trajectory that the Pittsburgh Steelers seem to be moving, they're not going to quit. They're not going to give up. That's not Tomlin. That is not the Pittsburgh Steelers. And so, with that being said, there's a good opportunity for the Steelers to maybe perhaps make a push or be relevant. Who knows? It's a lot better than what we were thinking a couple of days ago when everybody thought that the Pittsburgh Steelers were going to be in a top 10 draft pick and not be competitive whatsoever. It's still a climb. We're still in a hole. Like Mike Tomlin said, you don't dig yourself out of this hole with one victory or one performance or one good outing. Take some time to get back to respectability. It'll have to, the next step or the next step up into this climb is in Miami against the Miami Dolphins. We'll see if Kenny Pickett's in there. If not, Mitch Trubisky will be there to hold the fort. And after seeing his performance this past weekend, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are in fine hands. Might be a little tough, but I think that if anybody can do it, it'll be Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to leave you guys with this. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Please ring that notification bell. And if you guys are, those that subscribe and get entered into the contest to win the tickets for the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Vegas Raiders, good luck. With that being said, guys, I'm Daniel J. This is State of the Steelers, and peace.